welcome to my channel. My name is Carrie Hill. If you've already subscribed, welcome back. If not, hit that subscribe button and join the clique. Stay along for the ride. So today's video is going to be about my business journey. Basically from where I started, that initial thought, all the way up until now, with some hidden gems. Some people may think it's hidden gems, some may not. However, I'm still here to just give that information and what I can. So let's get right into the video. So I first started my journey with entrepreneurship 2019 of, I guess you could say, the fall, around my birthday in September. It has no significance, it just was around the time. And before then, I've always been a literal, factual, actual, whatever type of girl, woman. I knew I would graduate, go to school, and find my way, but I never thought of entrepreneurship. And I kid you not, y'all, literally, I'm just driving on my way to work, and something spoke to me and was like, you ever thought of entrepreneurship? It didn't even come like that. It was just like, you ever thought of starting a business? And I'm like, a voice that is positive, but it's not your own. It's truly in my heart, God. And that was something I never thought of. And so, excuse my nails, I talk with my hands a lot and they are not done. And so I was like, okay, so I would get to my desk and do some work, and I tried to come up with a name. It was Carrie's this, Carrie's that. And along the way, I did lose my grandmother, which is basically like my mom. So that also took a toll, and it really didn't start up initially. But November, which is after she died, because she died in October, was when it really started kicking in. And I had completed some work, but not all of it. And I started to think, okay, I know everyone sells clothes and I love it. And I started thinking of ways that I put outfits together. And that, for some reason, is always a purse. It could be a pair of earrings or some sunglasses, honestly. And my friends and family know this. That's how I start my outfits. No clothing involved, just accessories. And so I also started to think that it was universal. You can be of a different race or a different culture or whatever. If you got a bad pair of heels on or a bad pair of shoes on, we're agreeing completely, 100%. So that was my initial thoughts. So let's forward to, okay, girl, we understand your journey. We understand that. How did you get started? When I first started, I will not lie, I did not go to anyone, and it wasn't out of, I don't want anyone to know that I'm doing this. This is my opinion, and I will state it before I continue. Way back when, you would ask someone, you know, how did you get this business started? How did you do that? They were always cutting around the edges, saying, you know, it was a lot of work. I prayed. It was so hard, girl. I understand that. But if you can't tell me where to go, what documents, what you clicked on the website, any website, you just say it. I'm very big on just say that. If you don't want to tell me how, then just say that. Never ask anyone, but I've always witnessed it. So I got to researching, and you should. Information shouldn't just be given to you. I would feel like I haven't done any work. So that was no problem to me. Anyway, after I started researching, I did reach out to my pastor because he's very big on businesses and things like that. So he did kind of show me the way. I had already went on YouTube. YouTube is such an underrated source. And so basically I went to the Secretary of State. I had to check to make sure that no one had my name. So I originally started off with Soul Obsessed, just in case I wanted to implement some clothing way down the line. But when I checked in Louisiana, there was no one who had it. So okay, fine. And then when I went, I guess you could say not federally, but someone had Soul Obsessed. And I didn't want to end up fighting for that name in the event that it's a six-figure company, manifesting it as we speak. But so I did Soul Obsessed Shoetique. I had already been thinking about shoes, accessories, and other things, and just sticking in that little niche, however you say it. I registered my business, and I got my EIN number, which you don't have to pay for. I don't know if this is in every state, but you do not have to pay for your EIN number. If you do it through the Secretary of State, they charge you an extra, I want to say $75. But if you go on the IRS.gov, it's free. it is free. And you can actually start to at least look at wholesale vendors and what they have with that EIN number before you fully take off, which is so helpful. So again, Secretary of State, look for your name to make sure it isn't already taken. And what I want to add is, let's say it is taken, but it's under another classified group. Let's say for some reason it's under a restaurant, it's taken by a restaurant, you can still take that name. It isn't the same type of business. So that's another tip that you can use. I will say I did get something wrong on the Secretary of State, and they do not say, oh honey, you got this wrong, can you go back and edit it? Nope, you have to fill it out again, and it's another, I want to say, I guess it was like $100 to register my business. So don't make the mistakes I made, and definitely double check all of your work and then hit submit so you can register your business. One thing that I was very big on, and what I still do to this day, is taking my own pictures. To each his own. This is literally no shade to anyone that doesn't take their own pictures, but it is hard enough for people when you run ads and you boost your post on Instagram. It is hard enough with them thinking that because you don't have a lot of followers or a lot of inventory, you're fake. So I would never steal anyone's pictures. I will say the most shoe pictures that I see stolen is from Shop Official B and La Modish. There are two fire bomb shoe companies in California, and I literally look up, especially to Shop Official B. It's just not my style. I didn't have a camera besides my phone, but one thing I can do is download hella editing apps and make it look like I wasn't missing a beat. And there are so many companies that won't say that they still use their phone. I think it's bomb, and it saves a lot with your budget. So your girl was soaking up the knowledge at this point. I was a part of the girls mob, which again, I always say I'm not going to put y'all on, but I can't help but mention girls mob. So I was into girls mob. I was looking at webinars. I was trying to figure out how am I going to market myself. It helped a lot with being consistent, taking pride in your content, and having it look as professional as possible. Finding out my targeted audience. I took that for granted, and it's not that I didn't know it was a thing, but I kind of pushed it to the side because at this point I was like, by then I had my merch, I had my name, I built my website, which I can always drop a video on that. And I was just like, well, people are gonna know, so they're gonna buy. A pop-up shop was coming out, so I'm like, I'm gonna get my name out there. Let me just use, for example, Miss Sally. Miss Sally, who is 50 years old, been knowing you since you were 3, does not have to be your targeted audience, or your family, or your friends. Let me stop and say this. I love, my heart is literally with y'all for supporting me and just doing things that you don't have to do. Just because you see me with a business doesn't mean that you have to support, especially if you know me. But what I will say is a lot of business people, a lot of young and just entrepreneurs in general will get that mixed up with family and friends being target audience. They don't. And so back to Miss Sally, just because she finds a purse from your shop that she likes does not mean she bought something, she's my targeted audience. It doesn't have to be. Targeted audience can be race. It doesn't mean that it's not for the other race, but you know, as a Black person, there are a lot of stylists and different people who have said their jeans or their such and such is not meant for Black people's shape. So you can't get mad, you know, if I say that it isn't for a certain woman. If you are a man or whoever, if you like it, buy it. This is just what I'm targeting in the area that I'm trying to hit at. If I get anything outside of that, perfect. But I guess you could say young woman, 18 to 35, Black, and loves to shop. So that's kind of like a ballpark of where what a targeted audience or a targeted person would look like. You literally have to dress and have a background of where your person is coming from and why are they buying from your shop. What I am working on currently is more boosting of my posts. A lot of people are saying that Facebook ads are better than Instagram boosts, but I can't see it for me personally. And so where I'm at now is really just trying to juggle and balance everything. I recently was accepted into the doctoral program for Grambling State University, my HBCU. This is my first semester. It's going well. My business and the way I do things and constantly posting has been slacking, but I really just am praying and manifesting for a team, and I'm gonna go ham during the months that I'm off, trying to create the best aesthetics. I am in the middle of rebranding. I'm kind of rediscovering all of that and trying to make my overall image look better. And so I definitely like to think that I can do certain things or juggle everything at once. But I always like to prep myself because I want to be a woman of multiple streams. So I'm like, you gotta handle multiple things at one time. So I try to test myself with that, and I feel like it is a test with being in school, working, and owning a business. Most people will do these videos after they have 100K followers and over a six-figure company, but this is literally me during my journey. So thank y'all so much for tuning in, and make sure that you subscribe, become a part of the clique. Please like, share, again, subscribe, and yeah.